Thanks, Mr. Dugan. Mr. Muderick, you had a CNN interview a couple of years ago, and you said that one of your employees was spending 15 to 20 hours a week submitting forms asking Amazon and other e-commerce sites to remove products with your company's trademarks. Is that still going on?
What has happened is the producers of these goods have realized that infringing our marks is more difficult for them. So they have changed to not infringe our marks, but it doesn't change the fact that they do not comply with safety standards and flood the marketplace at severely discounted prices. So the problem remains, we just no longer have standing to go to the marketplace through these brand owner protection mechanisms and say, please take this down.
So they aren't using your trademarks or identification.
It's dropped off significantly because we were so aggressive. But they do use keywords and other things that we can enforce with our trademark to drive consumers towards purchasing these types of items rather than the legitimate product.
Dr. Campbell, what I heard you say, I think, was that the controlling law case on this subject requires that the marketplace have knowledge of deception or counterfeit status. Is that true?
That is correct. So they need to be notified, often by the brand owner, which is the notice and takedown procedure, that there's a counterfeit posting before they're required by the law to take it down. Many marketplaces, of course, still take down counterfeits beyond this, but in order for them to be held liable, secondarily liable for trademark counterfeiting, they would basically, that's the standard for it. So they only have to respond to specific knowledge of a counterfeit posting.
Mr. Snowden, I guess the thing that has always mystified me is that these internet marketplaces, which have grown in size, and all of us use them, I think it's pretty safe to say, if they're going to maintain their reputation and integrity, they should be on our side in this battle. It took 8 years to bring them around to that point. Why?
Well, I would say we are on your side. We're on the side of the consumer, and you look at our customer satisfaction reports, you'll see that consumers actually enjoy the online experience, for many the convenience, but also they get good products. What I think, as Ms. Kamel just said, is right in the sense that, yes, when you have knowledge of something, we have to take it down, but we don't just wait for that. In 2020, Amazon took down over 10 billion bad listings. And so this process is going on. Online stores, we don't want this information on our marketplaces. It is not our goal. It hurts our reputation as online stores to have this type of activity on our site, on our store. So we want to get it off as fast as we can. And it takes us working with retailers, rights owners, and law enforcement.
Well, I would say my observation, Amazon is late to the party, but we welcome them as a guest. They have said recently, quote, "We look forward to working with lawmakers to further strengthen the bill." The proposals that they've made over the years do not strengthen the bill. They strengthen Amazon's hand in avoiding the bill. I, for one, am not going to stand by and watch this watered down any further. We need to move on this. We're going to test your statement that they're on our side. Mr. Dugan, I asked a competitor of yours that happens to be located in my state of Illinois, and you can guess who I'm talking about.
Yes, sir.
So why do you have these plastic flaps with keys necessary for underarm deodorant, for goodness sakes? What is going on here?
Senator, actually, that's actually a direct result of organized retail crime. And unfortunately, it varies sometimes in product by demographic or by city or suburban neighborhood. So we have to lock up those types of products to prevent organized retail crime groups from stealing them.
So let me pursue this for a second,
Yes,
since
sir.
we just have a minute left.
Yes, sir.
So they swoop in with some container and drag everything off the shelf. Where do they end up selling these products that they've stolen?
Online marketplaces are the number one place for these professional crews to dispose of their products. They don't, like to the chairman's point, they don't come in and steal one or two of these. They steal all of the deodorant in the store to maximize profit with their fence. And unfortunately, most of that product winds up on an online marketplace.
Flea markets?
Flea markets are kind of a thing of the past, Mr. Chairman, quite frankly. I mean, it still exists, but the online marketplaces, and most flea market sellers also have an online presence. So they're not mutually exclusive from one another. They do both. But flea markets don't play the role that they used to because, quite frankly, the internet provides a much larger customer base that they can sell these products to.
I'll just close by saying in 2019, the U.S. Customs and Border Protection reported that 83% of IP-based seizures of goods came from one country, and you can guess what it is, the equivalent of $1.4 billion. So we have retail theft at home being translated into the fencing of stolen goods and these internet marketplaces. And then we have the foreign suppliers of counterfeit goods, such as Mr. Muderik has referred to, that is another venue. There may be more, but those are the two that have been identified so far. Senator Grassley.
Yeah.